Nice to see you, man.
Good to see you too. Last time we talked on the phone, it's good to see you a little more live.
That's the great thing about Zoom. It's like we kind of have left the 1950s and we're in like the modern era. We got our little Jetsons phone. We can see each other, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
good.
We're in the 2010s.
I love it, man. It's great to catch back up with you, and I know that we covered quite a bit the last time we spoke. You got new material out, but I want to cover kind of the precursor to this.
Okay.
Four years ago, we were looking down the barrel of this pandemic and what it was going to do, and it ravaged a lot of artists because of swallowed up schedules. How did you end up making it through it? How good does it feel to have new material out?
Oh, it's fantastic. To be honest, the pandemic was a really rich time compositionally for me. I did this composition group where we did like 100 days of writing, where we had like I got like maybe there were 20 of us, and we all like had this like central spreadsheet where we just like self-reported like I wrote this today, I wrote this today, like I only wrote a bar today, like today I finished my clarinet concerto, whatever, like whatever people were working on, we just put it on the sheet. And so we were like this, support community for each other. And we did 100 days in a row, and a lot of people did like every day where they were writing something. And a lot of people did, a little more, a little less, but like everybody was like really on it with just keeping in touch with that creative muscle and keeping that going.
Yeah.
So then we did like a few other days. We kept that community going. So the long and short of it is that I wrote a lot through the pandemic. And to be honest, I'm trying to catch up with recording all my projects. Like I have another one that's like half recorded, ready to be finished, ready to be released. And then I have another one that's mostly written right after that. So trying to catch up financially and logistically with the stuff that I wrote over the course of that time and shortly after.
So let's talk about this brand new album,
Yeah,
Revolutions. Talk to me a little bit about the artistic forces and how good it feels to have this out, live shows happening, all of that.
right. This was a big project for me. So there was a musical inspiration and there was a ideological or like inspirational idea. So the ideological inspiration came from learning about the Haitian Revolution and the South American independence from Spain, what was called the Bolivarian Revolution at the time under Simon Bolivar. So these are like two revolutions. Like the Haitian Revolution, I never learned about it as a kid, and it's not taught in a lot of history classes. But it's the very short version of it is it's the only group of enslaved people that ever rose up to free themselves and form a nation. Like Haiti was a 70% slave colony. Like the colony was 70% slaves, 30% colonial landowners, white colonial landowners, and the enslaved people rose up and took over the island and made a nation. Um, it's the only time that's ever happened. There's a lot of other history there. There's a lot of like caveats and or just a lot of history happened since then. But the short of it is that they accomplished that, which is this unbelievable feat in history and like really like stands for what freedom and equality can really be. And then the revolution under Simon Bolivar, liberating the Spanish colonies in South America. He did a really good job when I was looking at the history of envisioning a world where all the enslaved African people who have been brought over there who were didn't choose to be there, all the indigenous people who were kind of integrated into the communities, but also were exterminated in many cases or marginalized in many cases. And then the European settlers, he envisioned like a world where all those groups could come together and really be a nation as a community, which is something that didn't happen in the United States of America. So I felt that was an inspiring thing to look at and an inspiring thing for us to look at as as United States of American citizens. That was the other thing I ran into studying this history is that like being from the United States and calling ourselves Americans is not a universally shared practice, or in the sense that most like the people from South America also call themselves Americans, and they think it's strange that we own that term or
Yeah.
act like we own that term.
Yeah, that's wild, man. So at the end of the day, what are you hoping the listener gets from this album?
Well, I'm hoping that they'll be inspired to look at the history. I just did an album release and here in Brooklyn, and I was really gratified to hear a lot of people like man, I went home and I was reading about Simon Bolivar, or I went home, I was reading about Toussaint Louverture or Jean-Jacques Dessalines, reading about the Haitian Revolution. Like, I'm hoping that it will serve as an inspiration for people to go back and dig into that history.
Yeah.
And then musically, I was very inspired. I was playing a lot with a wonderful composer and pianist, Vadim Nazalovsky. I was in this trio for a long time, and exploring this intersection of like classical composition techniques, like layering in different rhythms, layering in different orchestrations, creating these like rich worlds, these kind of like cinematic, almost musical worlds, but then letting the improvisers go free within them. You know, like, so you create these like these sets, you know, that are like I think of like the musical sets in this piece, like the composition set up these like exotic feelings and these exotic rhythms and these exotic harmonic palettes. And then, but then I love the feeling of the improvisers on the album going free within that space, going, you know, going to where their imagination takes them. So I hope to convey that spirit musically.
So talk to me a little bit about live shows. What do you got coming up? How are you promoting? What's going on with the warm months?
Well, we just did fantastic album release here in Brooklyn at a place called the Soapbox Gallery. And that was great. We had a spoken word artist, Tiona Ligonde, Haitian American spoken word artist, narrating about these historical elements, and then a fantastic quartet and an amazing Haitian tambour player, which is the Haitian conga. And so that was wonderful. I'm hoping we do some more concerts like that. It's really a concert experience. So I'm looking for venues that are a little more listener focused. But like I said, I have a lot of other projects. I've got a few other shows coming up. One with my project Songs for the Mother Tree, which is a whole suite of songs about the communication and community life of trees, like trees working together as a single community. And then I got a gig coming up at the end of the month with my trio, the Mycelium Trio, guitar, bass, and drums, a little bit more of a groovy ensemble.
Right on. Well, cool, man. So if anyone wants to pick up this album in earnest and in its proper format, catch you, anything that you're doing live, anything about your previous work, where can they go?
Bandcamp is the best place. Bandcamp does the best job of distributing the music and supporting the artist. So you can pick up the album, a physical copy of the album there, a digital copy. Also my website, and then it's also available on all the streaming services, whether you got Apple or Tidal or Spotify or whatever you got. You can find it.
I love it. It's
Dan Loomis, Revolutions, yeah.
I dig it, man. It's everywhere. Dan, it's great to see you in living color. Best of luck, and I'm sure we'll run into each other again.
Great to see you too. Thanks for doing this.
Yes, sir, man.
Hey, jazz fans, Joe Domino here, the host of the weekly Neon Jazz radio show and regular interview series being produced and distributed from Lee Summit, Missouri. We are quite excited to let you know about the first annual Lee Summit Jazz Fest taking place this summer on June 22nd, 2024 at the Bridge Space located at 210 Southwest Market Street. There will be 8 robust acts, including the Back Alley Brass Band and the great Lee Summit Jazz Orchestra. There will also be art vendors and food trucks to make this a must-attend event. All details can be found at www.bridgespace.us/jazz. We will see you there.